It started back in 2015. Curzon Ashton were the team of choice. Predicted to finish 22nd in the Vanarama National League North. This was a team they originally inherited. As you can see, it was made up of mainly centre-backs. And after a bit of rebuilding, we managed to get a team that managed to get us to finish 11th. And this goal being the final one of our first season, as we win 1-0 against Hednesford. Season 2 came along, and again we were predicted to be in a relegation battle. But what was to come, you'll soon see. This 0-0 draw against Bood FM Stockport proved to be enough to secure promotion to the Vanarama National League in the second attempt for GW 365. The Vanarama National League came along, and it was going to be a tough ask for us to stay up. We expected to fight bravely against relegation, but how would we fare? Unfortunately for GW, this result was just one of many that really disappointed the Curzon Ashton faithful, and saw us get relegated from the Vanarama National League at the first attempt. And despite the relegation, Curzon Ashton offered GW a new contract, much to all the Curzon Ashton fans' dismay. This 1-1 draw against Guiseley ensured that Curzon finished 11th, which was the minimum expectation. This goal here from JJ Hooper, the last of GW's career as manager of Curzon Ashton, as the game finished 2-1, as you can see here. GW knew he had to improve, so incoming montage.
So hopefully you enjoyed that. That was been so emotional. I mean, the ups and downs. You know, starting off with Curzon Ashton, we had like a season of, you know, building. Then we got promoted. Then we finished bottom, horrendous season, and then we finished mid-table again, consolidation. We didn't manage to get back up, which led me to leave for Eastleigh. And Eastleigh, obviously, the main draw was they were a professional club, having got promoted in the very first season of the Save while I was at Curzon. They were a professional club in the Vanarama National League, and that drew me to them, give us more of a chance, I think, of progressing. Did I think I was going to stay at Eastleigh? Probably not, no. You know, I'd have probably moved on to another team had I stayed in, like, say, if I'd got to League 2 and finished mid-table. I might have considered moving on. But we had so much success, and we just ploughed through the leagues. Yeah, so I took over at this point here after they finished 16th in the league. Finished 5th, up via the playoffs, won League 2, won League 1, finished 2nd in the Championship, and then since then we've had a 14th place finish and a disappointing 16th place finish, despite signing a load of players and what have you. Which brings us on to the next part of this video, which is transfer news. This video, by the way, is probably going to be transfers and that montage. So sorry to disappoint you if you're wanting to see a game. I just think the video will be a little bit too long. And I think this season I'm going to do a highlights package of sorts and then one game, just to try and, you know, make it a bit more feasible to get a video out a bit quicker, because I do tend to struggle to get time to edit. So just to give us more of a chance to hopefully have shorter videos, which I know sometimes if they're long and drawn out, people can get a little bit bored very easily. So we're going to go into the outs first, and there's one notiful, that's the best English I've ever used. There's one thing you can notice straight away. There's a big fee there, 29 million. Our star man has gone to Bayern Munich. He had a minimum fee release clause in his contract. He's actually got one at 38. I might go back in for him one day. But yeah, his minimum fee release clause was 29 million. I completely oversaw that, or overlooked it. And as a result, he's ended up moving on. I'm very gutted about that, but we've made well, to be fair, we didn't get all of that money. We got about 23 million of it because there was a sell-on clause. So that was a bit disappointing. But if you think we've, you know, signed him for 6.75 and then we sold him for, call it 23 million-ish. So we've made like 17 million in, like 16, 17 million on him. So I can't be too disappointed. So after obviously the disappointment of Sanchez, I'll get into the rest of the players. Starting at the top, Russell, great servant for us over the last couple of years. Became a 2-star player, which meant I didn't really think he was going to be up to the job. Plus, change of formation is not capable of playing like above competency, if that's even the right way to put it, on the left, attacking left wing, because we are going to be playing with attacking midfielders left and right. So that's a bit of a disappointment from that, because he has been so good for us. We sold him for 775 grand. We did make a little bit of a loss, but you know what? He got us into the Premier League, helped get us into the Premier League, should I say. So we made a lot of money from getting to the Premier League. So he's done his job for us. It's going to be good to. I'm going to be good not to be saying Russell anymore, because, you know, double barrel names and that. Still have Pedro though, so that's okay. John Thompson, the goalkeeper, who likes to wave at every twat in the crowd. But yeah, looks very good, and the stats, but just made so many mistakes. And if you look how many he conceded in the league, he played 30 games last season, conceded 54, 5 clean sheets all season, probably not good enough. Does mean there's a change of goalkeeper. Watch his space, you'll see shortly. Next out is Harry Toffolo. The fact that I've let him go for a reasonable amount, really, 550 grand. It's not really great. Yes, he was pretty consistent and it was decent, but it was aging. He's 29 years old, soon to be 30 this month. So I just thought cash in on him now. It was on his last year of his contract as well. So I thought, you know what, I'll let him go. We'll get someone else in who could hopefully do a better job, maybe. Only deemed as a 2.5-star player. He was a little bit unhappy as well because I rejected a bid for him. So that kind of swayed me in that decision. Next might be a bit of a surprise. That's Joshua Manuel. He's gone to Charlton for £4.6 million plus a couple of sell-on clauses and things like that. Sell-on fee percentage of 10%. But yeah, he's left. It was very consistent for us. As you can see there, 7.33 average rating. Came in and joined us for 700 grand, and we've made a lot of money on him, so I can't be too disappointed. Plus, we've got a few other players in. I say a few. We've got another right back in. We'll come on to him shortly. Next is, believe it or not, Johnny Bay. We got him on a free from Leeds at the beginning of last season. He did feature for us once. No, 6 times, sorry. Got 1 goal for us. But spent most of his time in last season out on loan at Peterborough and Walsall respectively. Not even playing for Peterborough, so what the hell. But then Leeds have come back in for him and paid out 475 grand for him after letting him go, which I find a little bit bizarre. But you know what, if he helps them, like I said before, if he helps them get them out of the Championship into the Premier League, I'll be more than happy. Now next, might come as a bit of a surprise, that's Lewis. Obviously I renamed him because he had a really long name. And the reason I've sold him for is it was valued at like 3.9 million, which is exactly the same as what we paid for him. And I just saw they offered like 4.6, so I just said, oh, if you give us 7.5 million, I'll let you have him. So they offered it, and I thought, oh, fair enough, right? I'll let you go. It does give us more money, and I knew this at this point. This is when I knew that something was happening with Giovanni Sanchez. The kept trying to buy him, and they were getting a bit unsettled. But it was other teams, I think it was Fiorentina or someone like that, coming for him. But that's when it was starting. I thought there's a chance here he could go because he didn't want a new contract. Yeah, I'm a bit disappointed to lose Lewis, but you know, Tottenham came in for him. I thought, let him go. We'll get the money in, and we'll get someone else in later, which hopefully you'll see I've made progress. Now, next one, obviously, it was no secret that it was very poor for us last season. 6.81 average rating for the season with 1 goal and 1 assist to his name in 27 apps. But you know what? We've made an absolute killing from Reading. He's joining a decent side, and obviously now he'll flourish. And the thing that annoys me more than anything is, look at his valuation now. Just because he's gone to Reading, it must be something to do with reputation, because he's valued at 11.25. When I sold him, he was valued at 4.1. So again, it was a similar story to Lewis. It was a case of, oh, if you offer 7.5 million, I'll let you go. But I think he was just he let us down too much defensively. Marking, heading and jumping reach really affected his performances, I feel, and that's why he got such a poor rating. Next on the list is Sean Jeffs. He didn't end up going at the end of the season for 600 grand, so I had to offer him out again, but at his then valuation of 450 grand. So he's gone to Sheff Wednesday, who are a team that are in the Championship. Yeah, they're in the Championship. They finished fairly high up. Hopefully he's going to be able to do a job for someone, in this case Sheff Wednesday. Decent player, just not good enough for the top flight, I don't think. Next one is obviously the man, the myth, the legend that is going to be staying forever. He's just signed a new contract as well for another 4 years, which should, I think, see him get through to his 10 years for his testimonial. That's the aim. I want someone to have a testimonial. I've never had someone have a testimonial, so I'm hoping that Hezentala is going to be that man that gets it. Like I say, he's contracted to 2029, so it should be achievable, I think. He's started to decline now as well in his physical attributes, which is a shame, but it's inevitable on this game. And he goes out on loan to Southend in the Championship, believe it or not. Probably won't play much. So you already know about Giovanni Sanchez. Brett Carroll's gone out on loan. You remember him, I'll just briefly highlight him. He doesn't look bad. And then there's this guy here, which I won't highlight him just yet because he's a new signing. Right, so this brings us on to our transfers. We're going to start at the very top. George Davis is joining from Southampton. They got relegated last season, and I saw this guy as an able replacement for Lewis, but also the fact that we've changed our style of play to a Barca style of play. No, maybe not. But yeah, he covers both of what I want. I'm playing with a Roman playmaker and a box-to-box midfielder in central midfield, and he can actually play as a defensive midfielder as well to some extent. So I'm very pleased to get this guy in. He's come in for £7 million, so it's basically less than Lewis Gens. Just going back into him, he's on 30 grand a week, and he's got a contract for 4 years. So I'm very happy with that signing. He's valued at 9 million already. Right, I'm going to miss out the next two. Leave them all, like I said, the big money signings. Radislaw Kowalski, I might have to rethink his name, is on loan from us. He's going to be class, it looks of things. But yeah, he's Polish international, 18 caps already at 18 years old. He's got to be like some sort of wonder kid or something, because I know Poland on this game are like ranked about, I think it's about 22nd or something like that. But you know, they're still, you know, they're going to be a decent side, and getting 18 caps before, you know, your 19th birthday, I mean, that's just ridiculous. But I'm really excited about having this guy. He's going to be mainly used as probably backup, especially for this season. If we can get him on loan next season, he is costing us £250,000 a month. Is that right? Yeah, per month. So what I worked it out as was 2.5 million for the season, basically. And he's earning his wage as well. So it's costing us a fair amount, but he's a class midfielder, class defender. I'm hoping to sign him permanently at the end of his of this season if I can, because he is definitely one for the future and definitely one that I see holding that left back role in the future permanently. Because the next player is also left back and he's 30 years old next month in the game, and that's Matthew Targett. Now you might know about this guy, but he's definitely better than what we've got. He's a 3.5-star player, valued at 4 million despite this, but he's been at Southampton. Starts off at Southampton. He's moved around a little bit actually. We've got him for 3.2 million, and obviously it is a bit of a short-term solution. Obviously Tafolo was outbound, so I thought, well, when I search for players, I search for maximum 29 years old, so you get like 2 years out of him at least. And this guy fits the bill for at least the next couple of games, and he can cover on the left wing as well, should we be absolutely desperate. So a bit of versatility. He's earning quite a bit of money, to be fair. He's got a 4-year contract, so in a way I was hoping to maybe cash in on him maybe when he gets to 31. We'll have to wait and see. Watch his space as per. So then the next one also can play at left back, but he's been brought in for right back, and you might be familiar with this guy. I think Kev used this guy. Kyle Walker-Peters. He's mainly coming as backup at right back really. He's only 2.5-star player, 2.5-star potential, obviously because he's over 25, well 35 and above. It's coming for £1 million. I thought it was a very cheap option, and I know he can do a job as backup, and he covers the left back as well in case of injuries, and has got a little bit of versatility as well. But if not, he's got a decent finishing stat for a full back, which is kind of interesting. So yeah. The next player, in fact I'll leave him as well. I'll go over to Kevin Harris. This is just a youngster we brought in on a free transfer, got released from Arsenal, so I thought they might have a little bit of capability. Young midfielder, he's only on £1,000 a week for 2 years, so hopefully he might be able to develop into something. I'll probably look to send him out on loan and get him some game time and hopefully play in that position. But I just thought he's quick, work on that. He's decent at crossing. Got a few decent mental attributes, so I thought there's every chance that he could progress into something. If he doesn't, could maybe sell him on for a fee. The next one is the guy who was sent out on loan already. He's already at Bury, and this is Domagoj Pivovic. I think I got his name right. As you can see, he's got a lot of potential. We have paid a fee for him. We've paid £1.1 million, and I believe he's got a sell-on fee as well. Oh no, he's just got the wages going up and what have you. There's no fee for him. Afterwards we've got him outright for 1.1 million. I didn't think he was a bad player to try and get. He's a striker. He's obviously not ready to be a complete forward yet, but the thing that stood out for me mainly was the determination stat of 20, which meant for me he's going to be, I was just about to say that, driven. I just spotted it then. He's going to be driven. He's going to want to try and progress as much as he can. I'm hoping he's going to achieve that while playing first team football at Bury. It does say that he is currently suited to League 2, so that's why I thought go to Bury who are in League 2 is better than being on. I got 7 offers for him, 5 from League 2 and 2 from the Championship. I'm thinking, well, why don't you go take him to Championship? It was only covered for the first team, so I didn't think there'd be any point. So, and now the new tactic, I'm only going to be playing with one striker. So because of that reason, I thought I've got to send him out on loan, getting some game time, because of this next reason, which is Fabio Henrique, who I've signed on loan from Corinthians. He's earning £950 a week. That's half of his wages. That's all they wanted for him. He's on loan with us until the end of the season. We're going to pay half his wages, £950 a week, and that is it. We're not even paying for anything. He has got a minimum fee release clause of £9 million, so it's one of those try before you buy. He's valued at 4.7 million. I didn't have quite that much money, but I'm hoping left over. Hoping I might be able to poach him at some point as well, because he can play as a complete forward, which I'm going with a complete forward again. But determination again, 20, far better than the other striker. But like I say, he's going to get game time elsewhere. I'm very happy with that. So that brings us on to 3 more. We've got the guy at 9 million, Predrag Vukacic from West Ham. Another regen, of course. Paid 9 million for him. Covers a couple of positions, but mainly brought him in for an inside forward role. And as you can probably see why. The only thing that lets him down probably is his composure, but he's got the pace to burn, he's got a little bit of flair, he's decent at long shots, his finishing's good, his dribbling's decent, he's decent at crossing as well if he gets himself into a crossing position. He's left-footed, which is a bit of a shame. I would have preferred him to be right-footed with him being an inside forward, but I still think he's gonna be able to make an impact. He is only seen as a two-star player playing as an inside forward, but I think he's got a lot of room for improvement. He's got a lot of potential ability, so I'm very happy to have him in. And ironically, our first opponents are going to be West Ham, which will probably be the just part of the highlights package, I think, until we get to a decent game. Next on the list is our new goalkeeper, Andrea Zaninetti, and as you can see, looking at his stats there, the only one that really stands out for me, it could be an issue, is that one there. And eccentricity, I can't even say that word, but it basically means Bartezability. And yeah, he's quite bad at that. But 1-on-1's 15, he's only 21 years old by the way, so he's got a lot of room for improvement. And everything else just stands out. I mean, his agility 18, strength 15. Could be a little bit better with jumping reach. He's only 6 foot as well, but you know, I just thought it looks decent. We've paid out quite a lot of money for getting him from Lazio, so I'm pretty happy with this deal. He's better than Thompson, so hopefully he's going to prove it to be a bit of a difference. So I'm hoping for big things. Obviously, pause and check the wages because I do have a tendency to forget. And then finally, from Atletico, David Mariscal. Guaranteed 4.5-star ability potential. That is this guy. Covers box-to-box midfield and roaming playmaker. So I'm very happy to have this guy in. You know, highlight the box-to-box, which is where I want to play him primarily. He's quite fit. His stamina 16, which is very good. His mentals are not amazing, but like I say, he's still young, so they're only going to improve. But vision 18, technique 16, passing could be a little bit better, 14 maybe. But just the fact that he's so fit and his decision making is decent, and his finishing for a midfielder isn't bad. 10's not bad, but it was this was the main thing really. 4.5 star. Got him on a 4-year contract. Cost us 15 million. Not declined in his value much, but as you can see, look at these performances here. Average ratings of all above a 7, so I'm hoping for big things from this guy. I'm hoping he's going to be like a better version of Jake Jackson, who we've got as a youngster. Right, so moving on to the predictions, and we are joint bottom again, predicted to finish bottom. 2000, that goes from 14th to 20th, but we're actually predicted to finish 17th, so it is a bit of an improvement. Last 2 seasons it's been 20th and 19th. So yeah, there is that. Man United favourites to win it once again. A couple of things to let you know: we are improving our training facilities and youth facilities once again. They're going to take 2 years, 2 years and a bit. We'll get better training facilities and better youth facilities, and our new stadium only a year away, less than a year away now. So that's going to be very interesting when that happens. Finances. Yeah, we're actually just in the black because we're just about broke even. We're predicted to make about 145 million again somehow. I don't know how. No, maybe not. It's just when it says that financial fair play business. We're predicted to make 5 million, then 8 million, and then 9 million apparently by the end of that season. But we have got a few deals there that we've paid out for players with monthly instalments. Yeah, so there is that. One thing to note, like with the Sanchez fiasco, with him going on the minimum fee release clause, which I thought no one were ever going to reach. This guy, Lukunku, is clearly our best player now. He's going to take over the right-hand side role for us. He has got a contract with a minimum fee release clause of 21 million. If I go to offer him a new contract, it's fixed in 21 million as a minimum fee release clause. I cannot do anything about it. I wish I could, but I can't, because I mean, if there's any way for him to get rid of his agent or something, because that's just I want to be able to get that off, and he won't. So there's no point even offering a new contract as it stands. I think there's 1 or 2 players that might have that in the contract, but I can't remember who. I think there's a way to do it in a filter, so I might have to look at that into the next episode. Right, so the big change, otherwise, apart from the personnel, is the tactic, and it looks very familiar to the one if you watched us in our very first season with Eastleigh using this tactic. It is very, very similar. The only difference is it's the one from the Sports Interactive forum, and it was Cleon. You might have seen him kicking about on Twitter. But I've changed the false nine to a complete forward, and I might change a few other little bits where I see fit. It's not his own, it's what he describes how he wants his team to play, and I actually think now I've got the players to fit that system. I had to buy a couple of players here and there, such as Vukotic, to fill that inside forward role. It's one of the reasons why I've kept Adua as well. He's 29 years old. I could look to cash in on him. We've been valued at 4 million. But I just thought, you know what, he's decent at finishing, 14, finishing, he's fast as well, so I might be able to get something out of him, like coming off the bench maybe, as like a support striker if you like. But yeah, I think now I've got the players now, because I didn't really have a box-to-box midfielder, and that's one of the reasons why I wanted to get rid of Lewis, because I thought, well, I've still got Liam Walsh. Liam Walsh ain't going anywhere. He's still decent. It still does the job. Still puts a shift in. It's just a long term like Hedenthal. I want to keep him at the club, and that's the only reason why Villinder's probably still at the club. His value is declining rapidly, but he's only there because Sanchez went. Because definitely I would have sold him. In fact, I tell a lie. No, what I was originally going to do, Sanchez could play in the left wing, and he could play as an inside forward. So I was going to keep him there and have Lukunku on the right anyway. So I thought, if anything, the only thing that's really happened is that I've lost my inside forward and I've had to replace him with Vukotic, who is not a bad player. He's he's not valued as much anywhere near as much, but I'm hoping he can do a job. You know, it says it is a half decent inside forward. He can play up front as well, but for some reason in this tactic, even though it's a complete forward, it's saying that he's not complete forward. But if you click on him, it says complete forward. My mind boggles, but never mind. Going into the schedule, this will be the last thing I think before we wrap it up. As you can see, we've had a decent pre-season, a lot of friendlies there to get nice and well known, if you like. Chef Wednesday, 1-0. That was a bit of a concern at early doors, but then we followed that with a 6-0 win against Blackburn. Granted, Blackburn are now in League 1. But then we played Cows, who were like a non-league side, and only beat them 2-0. But worth noting, you know, we were creating quite a lot of chances, like 33 chances, so it's not too disgruntling. Played a few American cities, that was where Tar was, and then we drew with Valencia, which was a bit of a shame. We didn't actually have a single shot on target. Fabinho scored an own goal, and then Fisher scored an absolute worldie in off the post from the tightest of angles, like Marco van Basten like. Then we played Rangers. Celtic cancelled their friendly that I've been having recently because they're in the Europa League, so I had to have one with Hearts instead because they were like the best team I could try and match up against. And then actually our affiliate club, we beat them most recently, quite comprehensively. And the good thing about this tactic is, aside from the Valencia game, we haven't conceded tons of chances. If I just highlight a couple of them here. 4 chances against Rangers. Rangers battered us other year, 5-2, and I think we drew with them 0-0 last season. Hearts did score a goal, but they only created 5 chances. Chef Wednesday, they created 8 chances, but only 1 on target. So it's little things like that that's making me think maybe defensively we're going to be a little bit better. Paired with the fact that like the likes of Julian Martin, who for some reason, I don't understand this, right, if anyone's got an answer for this. Yeah, for some reason with Julian Martin as well, it said he was ineligible for the last game, which I thought was a bit bizarre. Because if I go into his last 5 matches, he didn't play in that game. He played in the Hearts game, and it said it on the 4th. On the 4th of August, it said he was ineligible because he'd already played for someone. But where's the evidence? I had a look in the under-21s England squad, and there'd not been a game for about since June. So if anyone can like pinpoint exactly what was up there, I don't know what it was, but it's good. Obviously, it's probably saved him from a massive injury or something. But I would have liked him to play, get as much game time as possible going into the new season, because I think he's going to benefit from the fact that he's not a ball-playing defender anymore because of his passing being only 9. So I'm hoping, with that in mind, You know, he's going to be a big player for us this season. And that's why I'm kind of sticking with the defenders. I focus more on the goalkeeper, paying all that money out. I focus more on that rather than the defenders. Obviously, I've got different fullbacks, which could have been one of the issues. We've got the Dick still, who is obviously still going to be class. He's going to be the right back, like first choice right back, because he's only going to improve. Look at that potential. And Roy Brewer's obviously going to lead the line. But he picked up an injury, damaged kneecap in one of the games. Still going to be our talisman, I feel, but he's been unsettled lately. I don't know if he's still unhappy. Yeah, being promised a year's salary if an acceptable bid is offered, because they're offering like 7 million. There's no way I'm selling my talisman for 7 million when he's like arguably the best performing striker of all time. I mean, look, he got 18 goals in the league last season in a struggling side. You know, and the year before that got 17, 22 and 30. You know, he's a goal machine. Getting a goal, more than a goal a game. You know. Sorry, a goal every 2 games. So yeah, this is going to be the tactic. Instructions are these, you know, lower tempo, closing down much more, mixed passing, play out of defence, and run from position and work ball into box. So that's the only instructions. It's highly structured and it is a control mentality. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to play the first couple of games, and probably including the Capital One Cup. Probably going to play Arsenal and Watford in the first 2 live comms. I was going to say Palace and Arsenal, but because there's like a 2-week gap, I won't bother. But it'll be after the January transfer windows. Sorry, the summer transfer window is shut. So hopefully I've enjoyed this video. Sadly, there's no game today, I'm afraid. I've just realised as well, it's not going to be 2 games. It's just going to be the Arsenal game. Purely for the fact that I'm going to do the highlights packages from now on this season. I'm going to break out the habit of doing 2 games. Highlights package and 1 game. So hopefully that'll tickle your fancy. If you have enjoyed this video, why not press that like button if you'd like to see more, feel free to subscribe, all greatly appreciated. Yeah, and don't forget to follow us on Twitter, and occasionally I try to go on Twitch, but yeah, it's a rarity to be fair, but I'll try and get on at some point in the future. Yeah, but until next time, until the Arsenal game, which will be a true test of how good our team is, I'll see you then. Bye bye.